This is 2017 higher level section A for materials technology wood. So question 1, tenon saw is the tool that's shown here. One specific use to cut tenons or cut woodwork joints. Question 2, what type of glue is it? PVA stand for polyvinyl acetate. The name of the woodworking machine is a pillar drill. Then 2 safety features, a chuck guard, CE mark, emergency stop, table lock, any one of those. Then it shows the diagram of a cross section of the tree or the trunk, naming the part labelled here. It could be taken to be the cambium there or the bast or whatever, so you can also state the function of it then being cell production or transportation, then depending on what you pick. Why are the jaws of the vise, woodworking vise made from wood? To hold the timber without marking it or damaging it, because steel on wood would mark it. And the type of force that's used in this is compression or compressive force. Types of trees shown, you're given your list, so make sure you use from your list: sycamore, horse chestnut, rowan or mountain ash, oak and beech. Then it shows a kiln for seasoning. Identify the different parts. So 1 is the fan, 2 is the steam jets, 3 is the heating coils, 4 are the stickers in between the stack, and then the trolley. Name the woodworking tool shown in the diagram. A Warrington hammer, used for driving nails or nailing, and specifically used for for nailing glazing sprigs. A Warrington hammer. It shows a direction of the plane being used on the wood, and you see the grain heading up the way here. Always playing with the grain, because if it were to come from another direction, the blade would stick in the grain and chip it up. So so you're asked to show the correct direction. So the correct direction is obviously this way, and then always playing with the grain for a cleaner finish. Name the woodworking tool. It's a marking knife, and it's used for cutting the wood fibres or cutting fine lines across the grain. Then we had to indicate each of the different stages in the life cycle of a beetle. So eggs, larva, pupa, adult, and the larva is the one that causes the most bother. This is where he starts to eat all the wood. Then in the space provided, name the method of timber conversion. It's radial or quarter saw, and it also asks on the diagram on the right, sketch another timber conversion. So I just went for true and true because they're all parallel lines, which is easy to draw. Tangential if you've got your box type shape. So question 13, name the 3 raw materials necessary for photosynthesis to take place in a leaf. So you need sunlight, carbon dioxide, sap, water and minerals. 14 is name the power tool. Is a chop saw or miter saw. Safety precaution: wear goggles, secure the workpiece so it doesn't jump when it's been cut. You could put other things I suppose as well too there. In the diagram it shows a number of wooden artifacts that have been manufactured with a CNC laser cutter. What does CNC stand for? Computer numerical control. Give one advantage of a CNC machine: accurate, fast, easily reproduced. It'd be safe as well too. 16, the diagram shows a wooden box. The top is decorated with veneers. What's the craft called? It's marquetry. Name the tool associated with this craft. A craft knife or scalpel, and the scalpel is used obviously to cut the intricate shapes, cut the veneers. Name the 5 items shown which are associated with woodworking or wood turning. A roughing out gouge, a live centre, faceplate, vernier calipers, parting tool. So this could be just called the roughing gouge, but it's a roughing out gouge as I know it. Then the different categories of plastics. So you're given the plastics in the middle are the thermosetting or thermoplastic. So it can be reshaped. UPVC can, nylon can, acrylic can and polythene can. Epoxy resin is a thermosetting one, so you'll not be reshaping that. Okay, it says complete the sketch and colour or shade the completed sketch. So you can use a set square for this if you're more comfortable using a set square, or you can do it freehand. Get lines parallel if you're doing it freehand, make sure of that. And I'll just go over this here in a pen just to highlight it. So just make sure that things look parallel in it. And of course, to make the grain, put a grain on the end of it. You can see actually it's shown that way, so just match the existing grain, and that's heading that way. And if you wanted to shade it, then I don't know, whatever way you want to shade it, whether it's putting in lines of grain in it, you could put in the lines of grain a wee bit heavier along that there. It's already given you kind of an idea of that. Or if you wanted to use a little bit of colour, probably the things to give it the appearance would be to put the bits of grain in it. And you could shade it, I don't know, not the most important thing in the world. And if you wanted to make it look like a woodworking piece, you could put on letters and put on your face side, face edge, and if you didn't do that much shading, it would make it look a little bit better. So that's 19. The last one, which I need to zoom out a wee bit for. So we're told all the materials, as obviously a project here of a birdhouse, told all the materials are 12mm thick. It says complete the cutting list. So we take a look at the cutting list, and we see the first one here, the base, is missing out. So we know that because we're told all materials are 12mm, that's 12. The sides, you look at it, there's 1, 2, 6. The front and back. Now this takes a wee bit of calculation here, because you're given the radius here for the front, the top part. So if that's 190, 190 over 2 is 95. So you have to add that radius then to the height of this piece here, which is 150. So 150 plus the radius, and we achieved the radius by taking 190, dividing it by 2 to get 95. Then so 150 plus 95 is 245. And the last one, no, there's two more in this here. The dowel, if we look at the length of the dowel, so you have to take 50 plus 12, the thickness to go through it, 62. And the last one here, I looked at this for a few seconds, as in, God, how you get that length there. It was actually given to us here in the cutting list. So that's the 2017 MTW Section A.